Well, it's Tuesday, and you all know what that means. As you probably know right about now, NXT has entered the fallout right after, of course, the Great American Bash, and not to mention the all women's show, Evolution. But the real question is, where do we go from here? But if you guys probably can guess it right about now, there are some implications involving for this coming weekend with TNA with Slammiversary, their next big show. As you all know, Jay-Z Jane will be dealing with Masha Slamovich in a winner-takes-all match. But the real question is, what will happen before we get to Slammiversary? And not to mention, Trick Williams is also, as you know, as a member of the NXT roster, is the current TNA World Champion. So we'll see how things will progress here and out. But first things first, we're going to be reviewing, of course, MARIGOLD with some of their from their much current tour, the first anniversary series with Burning Desire. But these events is day 4 and day 5 from back, of course, in June. So we're going to be catching up to what's been happening with them. So I apologize if I've not been keeping tracks with these guys. I mean, there's a lot of wrestling I had to be keeping track with. But we're going to try to catch up with the Yoshi Wrestling setup. And we'll see how things roll. But to close out this entire episode, we'll be, of course, doing some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up. 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 Get up, get up.
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the pleasantries, so let's get down to business. So, let's begin with day 4 of MARIGOLD's first anniversary series, Burning Desire. Okay, MARIGOLD first anniversary series, Burning Desire. So we're gonna catch up on their latest tour on this one. Now this took place recently on June 14th, and I think I forgot where it's gonna be, what it was, but this is day 4 of that very same tour. We have, of course, Nagisa Tachibana versus Ryoko Sakimura versus Kizuna Tanaka. Now, of course, many of you know that Tachibana and Sakimura are in fact 2 of the leaster experienced in this team, in this roster. So they're basically on the learning curve. But Kizuna Tanaka, who I believe has maybe a couple years in experience. In my opinion, this match kind of felt it was going to go in her favor, which she actually did. She applied a interesting leg lock onto Tachibana, and just like that, Tachibana had no choice but to tap out. Next up, we have Mirai versus Yuka Yamasaki, and this is, of course, Yamasaki's debut match. But it was impressive, I'm not going to lie. I mean, most people would not be impressed with the rookies if you do something cool or something exciting that you wouldn't possibly imagine. I mean, we've seen that already recently in Stardom with Kikyo Furusawa, who really impressed me in her debut match with Hanan. But this one also impressed me as well, you know. But in the end, of course, like always, it was Mirai who picked up the win when she applied a lariat. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. And then we did see a bit of a post-match promo with Mirai to Yamasaki, and I don't know what she said to her, but it seems like maybe she was impressed by her skill set, knowing that she stood upon one of the strongest individuals we met. But yeah, so we'll leave things as that as part. Our next match, we have Darkness Revolution, Chiaki and Misa Matsui taking on Hummingbird and Flying Penguin. So as you all know, Darkness Revolution are the heels of this group. You probably know they have similar traits like hate, but nothing compared to them. You know, they always find ways to cheat their way through. But in the end, it was Misa Matsui who picked up the win by pinning Flying was it Flying Penguin? No, Hummingbird. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So basically, Darkness Revolution got away with it. Now, our next match, we have Minami Yuki and Chika Goto. They take on Kyuki Amari and, of course, our current MARIGOLD World Champion, Utami Ayashida. So basically, you can tell some factors here. The weak link of the group, I have to say, has to be Minami Yuki due to the fact that she has a bit of a league's experience. But in fact, it was Kyuki Amori who picked up the win when she applied the Amethyst Butterfly, which is her signature move, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next match, we have Komomo Minami, Rhea Seto, and Miku Anu taking on Shino, Seri Yamaoka, and Mai Sakurai. Now, of course, it's great to see Shino again. For those who don't know, she had an impressive debut with Mai Sakurai in one of their big shows in Cork, I forgot where, but yes, it was impressive to see them together. But in the end, it was in fact Seri who picked up an amazing win when she applied a German suplex onto Komomo, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. And of course, we did see a bit of a post-match promo by Mai Sakurai. I don't know what she said, but that's how it rolls up. Now, our next match, which is our main event, we have Darkness Revolution consisting of Megaton and Nagisa Nozaki taking on Victoria Yuzuki and Mayu Iwatani. Yeah, so those who did not remember, those two were part of Stars back in Stardom for a while. So it's interesting to see them reunite in this type of fashion. But I think the real question we ask ourselves now, we have seen in time with Darkness Revolution that Megaton has been the weakest link of the group. And when it comes to a trios in any tag team setting, either with duo or trios or quartets or whatever, Megaton has always been the weakest link of the group, and that's exactly what we did see, because once again, she was the one who lost a match because she got moonsault by Mayu Iwatani. However, during the post-match, it appears in Nagisa Nozaki, well, let's just say that she and the rest of Darkness Revolution just had it with her and decided to kick her out, and they attacked her. But Mayu Iwatani decided to shield her from the attack, and everybody else decided to defend her. Of course, we did see a few others, but one particular person was, what's her name? Kyuki Omori decided to take Megaton under her wing. So basically, she and her will be teaming up more often. It's kind of interesting to see those two teaming up, but we'll see what Kyoki can do for her. You know, I'm sure that Megaton will love nothing more than to have a pretty good win with her, but let's see. And of course, the show ended with Mayu closing out the show, so just like that, it was over. So let's move on, of course, with our next Mighty Gold show, part of the same tour, uh, day number 5, I believe. Okay, we continue with day 5 of Mighty Gold's first anniversary series, Burning Desire, and this happened on the 15th of June. So we're going to be catching up with all of their shows as soon as possible. Now we opened up with, of course, Yuka Yamasaki, who the day before had her debut match. She faces Ryuko Sakimura. Now, Ryuko Sakimura, I have to say, she's a good, solid wrestler, but not as one of the bigger wrestlers. We know she has picked up wins here and there, nothing too big, but we know she can pull it off. But unfortunately, that did not do any favors for her, because even though she can say she has the necessary experience to pick up a win, it was Yamasaki who picked up the win with a familiar move I think many of you may know. I believe she tried a twist of fate onto her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was done. Now, our next match, we have Nagisa Tachibana and Minami Yuki taking on Komomo Minami and Rhea Seto. Now, nothing too special about this whatsoever. Now, these wrestlers, of course, you can say they are still in the rookie phases. They're still learning a bit of the ropes. But the real question, who's going to pick up the win? Well, the obvious question how it went, it was Rhea Seto who did that when she applied a submission, which is a reversed arm butterflying look or whatever it was, onto Minami Yuki. And just like that, Yuki had no choice but to tap out. Next up, we have Hummingbird versus Kyuki Amari. Nothing interesting about this match, but however, seeing Kyuki Amari back in the ring after she's been gone for a while, it's great to see her in action. But however, of course, this match ended with her applying a somewhat of a modified version of a jackknife onto her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 was over. Next up, we have Megaton versus Seri Yamaoka. As you all know, Megaton has been kicked out of Darkness Revolution due to her failures when it comes to winning tag matches. Now she's on her own. Hopefully she can do better. But, however, of course, Seri Yamaoka, who has a much better experience than her, not to mention she's been very sensational as a rookie, was able to pick up the win by submission, and just like that, Megaton had no choice but to tap out. Next up, we have Darkness Revolution, Chiaki Mitsumatsui and Nagisa Nozaki taking on Serene Flora, Consistent Akizuna Tanaka, Victoria Yuzuki, and of course, Mirai. Now, of course, when it comes to Darkness Revolution, you know these ladies like to cheat their way through to ensure they pick up the wins, taking the fight outside the ring, using outside objects like chairs and all that. That always been the case. But however, Mitsa Matsui was able to pick up the win when she applied a Mahestral on Kazuna Tanaka, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she picked up the win. Our next match is our main event, and this one I have to say, there is one. It's just a trios match, and one of the trios teams I have to say is an interesting combination. We have Chanyota, Mai Sakurai, and Mayu Iwatani teaming up. They take on Chika Goto, Miku Anu, and Utami Ayashida. Now, reason I say it's interesting is this: Chanyota and Mai Sakurai, they often team up together. They have fought together, and they even challenged each other in time to time. But teaming up with the icon of pro wrestling, Mayu Iwatani, you know that's going to be special. But of course, Mayu Iwatani will be right across, of course, the current world Mighty Gold World Champion from her. But of course, we know she'll be coming for that belt soon enough. But the Superfly belt probably will be the beginning for her. But oh, damn it! Sorry, my fan over here got knocked out. Sorry about that. There we go. So anyway, I wasn't too sure where this was going to go. I mean, everybody had some great strengths. But in the end, it was, of course, Mai Sakurai who applied, is something like the same move that Evil does. everything is evil onto her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. But we did see a bit of a post-match promo from everyone, so it's great to see that combination. So I can't wait to see what else we can see down the road with this tour. So I don't know when I'll be reviewing this again. Hopefully I do it soon, but we'll end things here with Marigold and move on to our last and final review, NXT. Okay, last review, NXT. As I said before, we just entered the fallout after, of course, the Great American Bash and Evolution. Now, it opened up, of course, with the Fatal Influence doing a promo. As you know, Jacy Jayne, who is our current NXT Women's Champion, decided to brag about Evolution, how things turned out for her. However, Masha Slamovich, as you know, makes her presence known that she'll be taking not only defeating, of course, Jacy Jayne, but the NXT Women's title. However, of course, Masha's not an idiot. She knows that she has some people by her side, and that is, of course, Jamson Nix and, of course, Fallon Henley. But luckily, Masha had help, and that is, of course, Soruka and Zarya. So that kind of sets it up right there. So, as you know, that's going to be our main event, I believe. Yes, that's going to be. Now, we opened up with that interesting six-man tag team match. Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and Trick Williams taking on Dark State. More consistently with Dion Lennox, Cutler James, and Osiris. Things would have gotten interesting in this match, but however, they took out Trick Williams, so it became a numbers game. But luckily, of course, TNA had some reinforcement, and those reinforcements are, of course, the System, JDC, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers. So you probably can guess how this turned around. So I can't wait to see where this is going to go. Now our next match, this is for the Evolved Women's Championship. Earlier in the day, we did see Carly Armstrong having a bit of a confrontation with Carmen Petrovic. As you know, Callie felt that she could have been the one to walk out of Evolution, but of course, Carmen Petrovic was not going to let that stand because she keeps bragging about it. However, the match itself was put into a no contest like we saw in the previous match when Jordynne Grace showed up, who is pissed off, knowing too well she got screwed by Blake Monroe after stabbing her in the back. But Blake Monroe was not present there, but she explains her reasons why she did what she did. She feels that Jordynne Grace doesn't deserve to become the NXT Women's Champion, and that's what she did. However, she decided to knock out the Prime Minister of Evolution and that idiot Mr. Stone. So Jordynne Grace is really unhinged. So we'll see what happens from there. Now, the LFG team, Undertaker was there just having a nice confrontation until Trick Williams, who thinks that he's all that, decided to get in their faces. But as soon as he left, that's when we heard the song, I am American Badass. Well, you guys know who that is. That's the Undertaker, of course. If you guys don't remember, he used to have that American Badass look back a long time ago, riding his Harley. So he called one of the team members of his team. I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if Undertaker was watching from wherever he was, watching NXT, how things were going, and he probably will put Trick Williams in the match. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Now, Ava had a nice talk with, well, not a nice talk, but a conversation with Jasper Troy after what he did in Great American Bash. So basically, he's going to be in a match against Ricky Saints. So we'll see how that role goes out from there. Now, we did see an interview with Lash Legend conducted by Kelly. Now, Lash Legend seems like she's gunning for the whoever's going to walk out with the winner takes all match in Slammiversary. However, Jada Parker feels like, oh, hell no, that sort of thing. So probably you can guess everybody's going to pay attention in the NXT locker room what's going to happen in Slammiversary. So we'll see where that goes. Now, we did see a final battle within the D'Angelo family. Channing Stacks Lorenzo Luca Crucifino and Tony D'Angelo. Now, there's some interesting moments we did see. There was moments where, of course, Tony D'Angelo had to go back to his old roots. In the past, he used to put his hat in the corner side of the ring, and of course, he knew exactly what Stacks was thinking, so he removed the crowbar. But in the end, he was able to walk out unscathed when he defeated both men. When he applied a spine buster onto, of course, onto Stacks, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, Tavion Heights and Ren Sinclair were talking. I think Tavion was not happy with the results of what happened with her throwing the towel, but she did it because she didn't want to see him get hurt. But of course, Charlie Dempsey showed up to get in their faces. But Ren Sinclair said, "Look, right now I don't have time to deal with this because I got a big match coming up." And apparently, she's going to put herself in the match against Blake Monroe. And Tavion Heights seemed like she was happy for her, knowing that she's taking steps of her own. So we'll see where we're going to go. Now, as you all saw what happened, Josh Briggs may have cost Yoshiko Anemura the match. And of course, Obafemi feels like he disrespected him and the match because they feel that in his way, this match was tainted with his interference. Even Yoshiko Anemura decided to deal with it too. So all hell broke loose. Now, our last interview, we did see Ricky Saints talk about Ethan Page and then Jasper Troy. So as you know, he will deal with Jasper Troy next week. So I can't wait to see where that's going to go. Then, of course, we see the culling, more specifically Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley talking about they could not get the job done, but they have their sights still on Soruka. But Izzy Dame continues to be friends with Tatum Paxley, so we'll see how things will go. Now, our main event features, of course, the Fatal Influence, Jasmine Nix, Fallon Henley, and Jay-Z Jane taking on Zarya, Soruka, and Masha. Now, of course, things would have gone either way bad, but we did see, of course, the culling, Izzy and Tatum showing up. And then, of course, the Spears and Nico Vance were trying to get in their heads, but luckily the tag champions, Hank and Tank Connection, decided to deal with them themselves. But it was Masha who picked up the win by applying a snowplow on Jay-Z Jane, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. But the real question we ask ourselves, can Masha walk away with both titles this coming Saturday? We know that Jasmine Nix is determined to do so, so we'll see what happens until then. But as of right now, we'll end things here with all our reviews and move on to our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. As always, let's begin with upcoming events. So, as you know, we have GCW Bash at the Ballpark in Coney Island on the 19th of July. It was announced that the GCW Tag Team belts will be on the line. We have Alec Price and Jordan Oliver defend them against Infinity Beyond versus High, Zeus, and versus Prospect. So basically, it's going to be a four-way match for these tag belts. British promotion RevPro with Summer Sizzler that will take place on the 25th of July. They announced two matches. The first one is for the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. Michael Oku defends the belt against Ricky Knight Jr., which is, of course, the nephew of Saraya. Then we have, of course, TK Cooper versus Trent Seven. On the 9th of August, we have Wrestling Revolver with the Jerry Lynn Invitational. 4 names have been mentioned in recent times about participating. We have Brick Savage, who is the Wrestling Revolver Texas champion. Zachary Wentz, who's on the spot of number 5. Many of you may know this already. His fiance is in the same invitational story. Entrant number 6, we have Gringo Loco. And then finally on entry number 7, BDE. So yeah, there's that. Then we have on the 10th of August, Deadlock Pro Wrestling with Beast Coast. We have the Battle of the Best tournament. First round, High End will take on You. And this is, of course, coming close to almost there to U's retirement in December. And then finally, on the 24th of August, Prestige Wrestling has Shark Ethic. Kevin Blackwood will be in action to take on what's the name? Cody Chud. So yeah. So that's pretty much it what we have for our upcoming events. Let's talk about certain developments. Wrestling Revolver has talked about Adam Cole. As you all know, Adam Cole had to relinquish the TNT Championship due to a concussion. According to Wrestling Revolver, they're saying that Adam Cole was prepared to retire. So he was about to announce his retirement, but whatever reason is, it did not happen. So don't know if he was talked out of it or did he have second thoughts. Who knows? That is a side we don't know. Only Adam Cole can explain that to us. Many of you know Maya Lesnar, who is the daughter of Brock Lesnar. Well, it was later announced that she's officially dating 49ers NFL rookie Drew Moss. Yeah, there's photos of that. I never thought we'd get to see something like this, but congratulations, Maya, on your relationship. And then finally, we have some interesting Q&A questions with Stardom rookie Yuria Hime. So people have often talked about certain things, and I think many of you may want to hear it. Let me pull it up for you on my phone, since I saved them up. Here it is. Okay. Come on. Oh, here we go. A fan asked Yuria Hime who is her favorite WWE wrestler, and she mentioned two names, Rhea Ripley and Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton. So basically, those are her two favorite. But another person asked a question like, is there any move you would like to try to imitate? And she said yes, the prettiest moonsault ever. Yeah. So yeah, she wants to do that, the prettiest moonsault ever. I know she's not ready for that, but deep down we know she can pull it off. All she needs to do is practice. So she needs to, of course, go to the dojo and get enough practice time to pull it off. So we'll see how things will roll. I hope she pulls it off, you know. So, I mean, people, as you all know, that the prettiest moonsault ever is also emulating the best moonsault ever, which is, of course, the move that Christopher Daniels puts out. So just putting note here for all of you. So I think that's pretty much it what we have for our news updates and everything else. Let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you know, we have WWE Evolve. We don't know what's going to happen now. As you probably can guess, I believe we have the men's Evolve Championship on the line. Jackson Drake defends his belt against Lisa Dorada, but however, Vanity Project are banned. So we'll see how things will roll up from there. And then we have, of course, AEW Dynamite. We enter the fallout after, of course, All in Texas. I can't wait to see how things will roll up, but we'll see how things will go now. As you know, we have a brand new AEW World Champion. And, of course, we have lines that are going to be lined up. So we'll see who's going to be the lucky competitor to try to challenge Hangman Adam Page. So until then, I'll say this, that I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.